Alright, hello everybody, welcome back. I just rescued the prince, so yeah, that's what happened last time. So, let's get started.
Ura, ことさら隊員た、ゾスローであった。ベルアと改ざんせて、鉄砂枠。ゴレ、トルヨーリ。
Oh, no, that's all right. We were just happy to help.
遠理探査来るた。統合。
I believe the Regent has just given us an order.
I guess so. In that case, how about you make Rule 0? And have it say that if people don't like a rule, they can vote to change it.
A splendid idea.
ヨーリサロー。
エルパチスチタ。
ペルアとルトス、オンジワクレタイ。ペルアとタトだ。アンダ、サンキトシチ、テ、とヨーリン。エオーカイザム、サラトは教えてきた。コスキ、ウカー、エテスレタだ。
Thanks. But I think most of your praise belongs to someone else.
ケワタタ。
Do you know how to cure the Black Scrawl?
そうすんよ。ライ、
So, even a king couldn't recover from it.
ああ。テ、ズシキタトだ。
It seems there is no way around it. We'll have to collect the sealed verses after all.
Yeah, it's the only lead we have.
ウィンカレキッソと
We came across an old song that says if we find them all, we can cure the Black Scrawl.
And yes, we are well aware that refrains penned by minstrels half in their cups are hardly a reliable source of information.
Hey, I'll believe anything if there's even a sliver of hope it could help me save Yona. And I'll collect verses, orbs, crystals, magic goat meat, whatever.
Oh, did not mean to press that. What's the button? There it is, okay. What kind of sword is that? Wait, cool oath. Virtuous contract. Heck yeah.
あとたあこちしてすれたいさそんどとだちときて
Of course.
Just try not to get yourself kidnapped again,
たくうとうちたく
I'm worried about Yona. Let's go back.
Well, that's inconvenient. Don't like the way you have to travel around. Before I leave, I need to save.
appear. I suppose rules are rules, even if they are absurd.
I don't think they're absurd.
Oh,
Those rules are important to the masked people.
you don't say.
I do. And I think it's important we respect that.
Well, well. The boy is beginning to sound like a man.
Boy, I'm not a kid, you know.
Hey, less talking, more walking.
Rest in peace, lizard. You'll never be seen again. Hey, go. Are you okay?
Yona,
Oh, hey,
how are you feeling?
better, now that I'm taking the medicine you brought.
Good.
By the way, are you gonna stay here today?
You bet.
Really? You'll stay with me? Really?
Yeah, Yona, I'll stay.
Yay!
Now get back to bed.
Okay.
I hear a voice. I squint and see a boy standing before me. His hair is silver, his skin is pale. He stares at me with hard, glassy eyes. Soon his lips begin to move, but no sound comes out. What is he saying? Can't hear him. Can't hear him. Can't hear him. Can't hear him. I can't. I try to leave, but something about the boy holds my gaze. I watch his face expressionless as his lips slowly flutter. What is he trying to say? Wait, it's a phrase. I can almost make it out. Starts with an S, then there's an E. I can almost see it now. The letters begin to fall together, one after the other, faster and faster. Sealed verse. It's a sealed verse. The thing I'm looking for, the key to saving my sister. I stare at the boy with renewed ferocity, trying desperately to make out his next word. D-R-E-A-M. Dream? What the heck does that mean? Let's move again, faster now. I can't follow them. I can't make it out. I want to scream, I want to tear the walls down around me, but instead I force myself to be calm. I can do this. I can do it for Yona. Slowly, ever so slowly, I parse out the letters that make up the final words. F-O-R-E-S-T-O-F M-Y-T-H. Forest of Myth.
Just a dream. Even in my dreams, I'm hunting sealed verses. Morning, Yona.
What's wrong? Are you feeling sick too?
No, I had a strange dream.
What was it about?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
'Cause I had a dream too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Me and this boy were playing a game together.
What kind of game?
It was called Guess the Words. I think he made it up because I never heard of it before.
How did it work?
The boy would move his mouth, but no words would come out. Then I had to guess what he was trying to say. It was hard. I wanted to play hide and seek, but we had to play his dumb game instead.
So what did he say?
I don't know. All I could figure out was dream and forest of myth. But don't worry, I'm gonna study hard so that next time I can figure out everything. We should play a game together sometime too.
Sure, Yona.
I'm ready to make that stew anytime.
I completely forgot about the stew.
Something troubling you, lad?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Come on, I need to go ask Popola something. What's up, Popola?
Oh, hi. I just got a strange letter in the mail.
Dearest Popola, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing in hopes of bringing to your attention a dream issue of concern regarding recent events in Dream the Village. Wait, hold on. I am writing in hopes of bringing to your attention a certain dream issue of concern regarding recent events in Dream the Village. Did I just have a stroke? I was hoping I might be... Wait. I'm writing in hopes of bringing to your attention a certain issue of concern regarding recent events in the village. I was hoping I might be able to get your advice on the matter. Recently there have been reports of a certain evil. Oh.
That is certainly one bizarre piece of writing.
Who's it from?
The mayor of a small village in the Forest of Myth. It's a wooded area up north.
The Forest of Myth?
They're usually a bright and cheerful group of people. Something like this is very out of character for them. I have a bad feeling about this.
I'll check it out.
You will? But...
Don't worry about it. I've got business there anyway.
Oh, well, alright. Thank you.
Forest of Myth. I think I've heard of it before. So what's that boar? Do I have, am I strong enough to fight it yet? What kind of effort I really do? Is there a button for that? Ordering ally strength? How much health does this thing have? Oh. Finally. Get back to the village when I come back next time.
Get out of my way! I have to save Yona!
Calm down. You cannot prevail if you are blinded with rage.
It sure is quiet here.
Such silence bodes ill. There's trouble on the way. I'm certain of it.
You know, a little optimism now and then wouldn't hurt, Vice.
Such cheek.
What do you mean?
Contagious words. Those who dream.
Those who dream?
Hold a moment. There is a strange new sensation in my mind.
Vice's voice rose in a quizzical way.
It is not quizzical.
What's going on?
The villager's body shuddered as he slowly opened his eyes.
Perhaps we should start by asking this man.
Who are you?
We heard something happened to this village, so we came to see if we could help.
The mayor stared at fear at Alex and Vice.
If you can speak to me, I must have caught you in my dream.
In your dream?
The mayor explained. In the past weeks, a mysterious disease called the Death Dream had spread across the forest of myth. Those who caught it were cursed to fall asleep and live forever within the world of their own dreams. The village mayor had determined the Death Dream was spread from person to person by spoken words, but therefore we could learn more. The disease took him as well. Vice stared at the mayor, his mouth was twitching slightly.
Now see here. Are you saying that we have been absorbed into your dream?
Well, yes. I think you have.
In other words, we've caught the Death Dream?
Before the mayor could confirm Fira's suspicion, Vice exploded with rage.
Ridiculous. Preposterous. Completely unfathomable on every conceivable level. I don't even recall falling asleep.
That's just how the Death Dream works.
Though polite, the mayor was clearly trying to brush aside the book's remarks.
My remarks are not to be brushed aside, fool.
The mayor twisted his mouth into an embarrassed grimace and quickly changed the subject whom Fira had seen and what they had discussed since coming to the village.
Something there must have caused you to enter my dream. A certain conversation, a specific word, something.
Fira and Vice racked their brains, but could find no easy solutions. There were simply too many words to consider, too much random chatter, too many meaningless conversations.
Grimoire Vice does not engage in meaningless conversations.
The mere suggestion that Vice chose his words carelessly seemed to sting his pride.
It does not seem to sting my pride, you bloated gasbag of a narrator. It has demolished it utterly.
Irritated, Vice looked skyward, as if searching for answers in the
I
heavens.
was doing no such thing. Just leave me alone already.
The anger created by his harsh words bled over to Fira like a contagion. Wait, said Fira suddenly. Did someone just say contagion? Yes, I believe so. What of it? Well, that villager told us to watch it for contagious words, right? The mayor leaned forward with renewed interest, pushing a startled Vice aside in the process. He must have said something, right? Asked the mayor. Some specific combination of words. What was it? It was about dreaming, or something that dreams, or what the heck was it? A sheep? Cried Vice suddenly, blurting out the first thing that popped into his head. The others stared at him for a moment before slowly shaking their heads. After a few more minutes of thought, Fira's face suddenly lit up. I remember, he said. Those who dream, that's what he said, I'm sure of it. At this, the mayor produced a thick sheaf of papers from his pocket. He flipped through them a few times before finally nodding his approval of Fira. That sounds right, he said, as a stray sheet of paper fluttered to the ground. My notes also mentioned something about that. I bet it was the last thing you heard before you fell asleep. The mayor shook his head, his worn pencil stub tracing lines across a lone piece of paper. For the last month, I've done nothing but study the disease we call the Death Dream, he said. I mean, I'm the mayor, right? It's my job to protect the people from whatever comes along, but I never expected a couple of outsiders to start entering people's dreams. The mayor paused, the grimace crossing his face. I should probably be taking notes or something. Vice immediately fired back. I applaud the force of will it takes to research a disease in your dreams, he said, but perhaps we should bend your efforts to escaping the place instead of trying to understand it. The mayor's hand tightened around his pencil, snapping off the tip. I've tried to escape. From the very first moment I realized I was locked inside my own dream. I've been looking for a way out, but I don't think it exists. I mean, this is my dream, right? If there was an exit, I'd know about it. He paused for a moment, his unfocused eyes staring at nothing. My village was beautiful, he said to no one in particular, and it was filled with the most wonderful people you could ever hope to meet. But once this disease took hold, things changed. It's like someone took a sponge and soaked all the color out of our lives. I just want us to be whole again. I want us to be free. And I won't stop trying until it happens. Fira nodded in agreement. Huh? Wait a second. I didn't nod. Anyhow, so Fira just asked. Now hold on. I did not just say... Silence, cried Vice. Kuma looked from Fura to the mayor and back again, his face filling with confidence. From Vice's face is always confident, thank you very much. Now see here, Mayor, you told us that nothing can exist in a dream without your knowing of it, but yet you seemed surprised to see us when we first arrived, yes? The mayor slowly raised his head, realization dawning on his face. Oh my god, he said, you're right. I had no idea you were coming. The human imagination is a limitless engine, said Vice, and dreams are the fuel. If you can imagine an exit, then it must be so. With your permission, we shall search it out. Thank you, said the mayor. I don't know how I can repay you. Payment is not required. We are as eager as you to be done with this place. The mayor suddenly felt as if he could breathe again. He'd almost forgotten what it was like. Good luck, you two. He called at the departing forms of Fura and Vice. We're all counting on you. As Fura slowly faded into the misty forest, the mayor was struck by a sense of deja vu. I saw this man once before, he thought, but where? Fura's mood darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours earlier, when the beauty of the place was still a new thing, he'd been confident they could get in, find the exit, and be home in time for dinner. But the deeper they went, the more the forest closed in around him. The mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction, and moss-covered rocks seemed to twist his ankle. More than once he'd been forced to steady himself on the rough bark of a tree, and his hands now left small trails of blood on everything he touched. Additionally, Vice was proving to be a spectacularly poor traveling companion, unhindered by either terrain or physical effort. He spent most of his time urging Fura to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Vice muttered something about the legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, Fura snapped. Okay, Vice, cram it for a second, would you? You don't have to walk. Fura leaned against a tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back. How can this stupid force be so big, he muttered to himself. The moment the words tumbled from his mouth, the cacophony of insects sprang to life. Every imaginable form of buzz, click, and hiss roared out at a volume that rattled his teeth. Fura slapped his hands over his ears and screamed to be heard. Vice, what's going on? Fura could see Vice's mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. The insects screamed, the forest howled, and then just as Fura's ears seemed to be ready to tear from his head and go running for cover, the sound diminished. Hesitantly, he removed his hand from the left ear and listened to the creatures to the woods. Zuri, that's just... yeah. Wuma. As the insect symphony, why is it cacophony, dimmed into another decibel, Fura began to detect patterns in the sound. This isn't random, he thought. It's not just white noise, it's something else. The insects weren't just calling out, they were asking a question. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? By my pages, is this a riddle? I guess so. I mean, it feels sort of forced, so maybe it's the key to getting out of the... okay. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. I don't understand. Then I leave it to you to answer. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? A secret. Having 1 secret would be seen as lacking. You don't have much to hide. 2, it's enough. 3, okay, seesaw. 1 would be a useless seesaw. 2, perfect seesaw. 3 is... how would that even work? I'd say it's a secret. Inwardly furious, Vice left the test to him. Furious sighed and gave the answer that made sense. It's a secret, oh right? The sound of the insect stopped as suddenly as it began. The forest undergrowth parted before Fura, like a rippling wave opening a new path. These forest arthropods are making a road for us, said Vice with glee. Pleased at passing the test, Fura moved on with a new intensity. The path offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave even greater cheer to his mind. As long as they were on the path, their journey had a purpose. I guess the forest had accepted us, huh? Said Fura after a bit. Vice spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of this forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. We have no idea where this path leads. As Vice finished speaking, the pair turned a corner and found themselves facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, Fira picked up a small rock and sent it skimming across the surface of the water. Good heavens, said Vice. His surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. When the rock finally stopped moving and sank into the bottom of the spring, the ripples it left behind came together and formed words. I entered through the window, but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Light. Absurdly easy, barked Vice. No, now answer it. Fura grit his teeth and tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. He's right. After all, this one is pretty easy. It's light. Sunlight. A plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spanned the entire horizon. In all my years, said Vice softly, I have never seen such a sight. Perhaps I have misunderstood the intentions of this place. Hey look, cried Furo, awakening Vice from his daze. There's a house or something over there. Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, Vice saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. That's weird, isn't it, Vice? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here? Furo walked over and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid banging, the door cracked open and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by mist. Began Fura. But before he could get any further, the cloaked man held a hand up and began speaking. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon, and the night with 3. What am I? Fura tried to ask the man who he was and what he was doing there, but he simply repeated the question. If we wish to engage this man in conversation, said Vice, it seems we must answer his riddle. And I suppose, said Fura, well, at least it's an easy one. I've heard this one before. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon, but in the night with 3, what am I? 4 legs in the morning. 4 legs in the morning, 2 at noon, and the night with 3. None of these make sense to me, but... A man. The mist dissolved from the cloaked figure as he spoke a single word. Correct. With that, the man flung his garment aside, revealing his true identity. I don't understand that. How is it a man? You're the mayor, cried Fura. The small man slowly shook his head. I am not the mayor you know. Now listen to my words. Long ago I saw a version of you two that was not yourself. Sorry, what's that mean? It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the death dream. Now you must go to the person at the forest entrance. With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him. As Fura watched, the mist leaped up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, erasing it from existence. When Fura and Vice returned to the forest entrance, they found the mayor leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them. Good gravy! He cried, you made it. You actually made it back. His left hand grasped Fura's and pumped it so fiercely it threatened to dislodge from the socket, while his right seized Vice by the cover and swung him through the air. God, by the heavens, stop shaking me, fool! We have not even told you if we were successful or not. The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. I'm just happy you're alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. Fura withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile. We broke the death dream seal, he said. At least I think we did. The mayor's face beamed as Fura filled him with in on the details. When the tale was done, the 3 of them laid down in the forest ground and fell asleep. Fura cocked his head. Okay, hang on a second. This is crazy. Why would we just lay down and go to sleep? Seize your endless prattle and go to sleep, fool. Fighting against the rules of this place is futility itself. Fura and the mayor obediently reclined atop a grassy earth. Have you forgotten, continued Vice? It is words that control the death dream, words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, the words are absolute. Therefore, if the words tell us to sleep, then sleep we shall. And once we do, the story will continue. With that, the trio found their eyes growing heavy, their breath slowing. This is the first time, began the mayor, the first time I felt tired since I was imprisoned here. His words were cut off by a loud, long yawn. And I have to yawn too. And he remembered nothing more. They might have slept for an hour or a year. When they awoke, things had slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, the leaves greener. It was clear that they had awakened from their dream. Fira shook the mayor's shoulder gently. "Good news," he said. "I think we made it." "Oh wow," said the mayor in an odd voice. "We did it. I'm back." He blinked once, and again, as if not quite believing the sight before him. "You two have no idea how much this means. The death dream was spreading through our village, and I wanted to. Well, I thought I could figure out how to stop it, but I guess that wasn't the case. I must have caught the disease and become trapped in my own dream." The mayor started to stand, then collapsed back to the earth. He started his legs as if trying to remember how they worked. He glanced at Fira and shrugged. Without a word, the young man reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet. "Real life may take some getting used to," said the mayor as a wry smile crossed his lips. "You shall relearn in short order, I am sure," said Weiss. "For now, you should return to your home and rest." "No," said the mayor, swinging on unsteady feet. "No, I can't. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the death dream. I have to save them." The mayor slowly made his way to the divine tree in the center of the village, then bowed his head and prayed silently. "This is a holy tree," he explained when the prayer was finished. "It's the guardian of our village's history and memories. Superstition will only make our mission harder," muttered Weiss. "We should not put our faith in the gods." The mayor shook his head. "Not the gods, the words. Legends said that our tree is home to a powerful magic known as a sealed verse." Fira and Weiss could not contain their surprise. It seemed a ghoul had been found in the most unexpected of places. "I say," muttered Weiss, "this is certainly a stroke of luck." As the three of them said their goodbyes, Fira mentioned the strange man who had given them the third riddle and the mysterious words he left with him. "I once saw a version of you that was not yourself," muttered the mayor. "What in the world does that mean?" Lost in thought, he stared into space for a long moment. "You know," he said softly, "this is going to sound odd, but I had a feeling I'd seen you before too." Fira tried to keep a straight face and failed, but the mayor didn't seem to notice. "Deja vu, right? Anyway, I figure it's some kind of illusion created by the death dream. It probably doesn't mean anything." Fira gave the mayor a nod and smile, but inwardly his thoughts were racing. There's something wrong about the mayor and his words, and what exactly is going on here. The riddle would prove to be the most difficult one of all.
Oh, thank you so much. Now I can finally return to a normal life.
This is one of the most bizarre diseases I have ever encountered.
I know. That's why we have to help the other villagers, no matter what.
For a sealed verse, that didn't take much effort.
Yes, all a touch too easy if you ask me. It's almost as if someone was guiding us to this village.
Don't overthink advice.
I'm gonna end this here, so I will see y'all later. Goodbye.